Hey, good morning, Mike here. Hey, so somebody asked me, Mike, what do you look for when you're looking for a house? Well, our goal is to make a profit, right? And there's certain things you can do to increase or decrease your odds. And it really doesn't matter whether you're trying to flip it, if it's a rental, if you're trying to use it as a seller on creative terms, doesn't really matter. These guidelines, I'm going to take a couple minutes to show you. These guidelines will actually increase your odds of success if you let them. You see, all people that are looking for a house have certain common needs. Everybody has the same thing. So if you'll adhere to these things, you'll actually end up being in a bigger pool of buyers, okay? You don't want to get a house that there's only 3 people in the country want. You want a house that everybody wants. That way you can choose who you're going to sell to, who you're going to rent to, who you're going to flip to, right? Now, you always want to make sure that you have certain things in place. You don't want to, for instance, get a 1-bedroom house because, hey, if people have 3 kids and a bunch of stuff, they're not going to be interested, right? So there's always going to be exceptions, by the way. I've always got people going, well, let me tell you what happened. I did this, and that sure still made money for me. Well, that crap doesn't matter because, again, don't buck the odds. Don't try to be the exception to the rule. Now, first of all, let's talk about size of the house. Let's talk about that. I like to have a minimum of 1,000 square feet. You see, people never complain, gosh, my house is a little bit too big. It's got an extra 200 square foot. Now, they don't complain about that. Ignore those TV shows talking about tiny house flips. Isn't this great? We got a house that's only 600 square foot. No, no, no. 750 square foot, no, walk away. Why? Can you make money? Yes, you can from time to time, but it's harder. It's more of a challenge. You're going to struggle trying to find buyers for those types of houses. So you want a minimum of 1,000 square foot. Also, don't get the 5,000 square foot house. You want the minimum that the average that's common for your area. Another thing, number of bedrooms. I prefer 3, maybe 4 bedrooms. Why? Well, if you have a 3-bedroom house and she gets pregnant or they get a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, hopefully they don't get a girlfriend and a wife, if you know what I'm talking about. If they've got at least 3 to 4 bedrooms, they can grow into the house. Now, what if something's different though? It's common in your area, right? I mean, for instance, if you live in an area that the whole neighborhood's all 2-bedroom houses, well, that may be all right because if people are looking there, they'll probably consider because that's common for the area. But again, I like to get 3 to 4 bedrooms. Also, another thought. Avoid what we call landing bedrooms. Those are the bedrooms that it's not really a bedroom. You have to walk through the first room to get to the second, to the main bedroom, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, you want to have a bedroom that has its own door that can close its own entrance, right? Another one is bathrooms. I like to get at least 1.5 baths, preferably 2. Why? Sometimes you got to pee and somebody's in there. Well, families are the same way. You don't want 1-bedroom houses. They sell, yes, they do, but they're a little bit tougher to sell. What about schools? You see, if a house has a good school system, it's going to have a higher resale value. You might be saying, well, Mike, my kids are grown. It doesn't matter. If you ever want to go to sell it, you know you're going to find it out. If schools are bad, sometimes the only people that are looking at those houses are with no kids at all because they don't have the need for that. But I'm telling you, if you can get a house in a decent school system, you're going to do better. Another one is safety. You don't want to get a house in an area that's dangerous all the time. In other words, I started buying and selling houses in the rough part of Toledo, Ohio, and I know a lot of people think of Toledo as the vacation capital, but really it's not, right? So they stole my copper. They stole my water heater I put in during the day. They would come and steal the aluminum siding off the house as high as they could reach. I've been through all this crap. But I had somebody go, I can buy those houses cheap. I know you can. There's a reason for that. Let me point something out. People only live in those areas if they have to, right? For instance, if they had the money, if they had the means, do you think they would choose to stay there? No, they'd move, right? Rough areas are where most of your problems are going to come from. Ask yourself this question. Do you need more problems? Do you want more headaches? Do you want more to have to stress out about? No. Now, if you get a house under contract, and it happens to be in that area, doesn't mean you can't make money. These are the ones that you wholesale off to the landlords that work in those areas, right? Well, some idiot just went by about 100 miles an hour. Anyways, here's another one. Shared driveways. If you get a house with a shared driveway where the neighbors have to share it, these are always a source of contention. There's going to be constant bickering between the neighbors. They're going to call you, hey, can you ask the neighbor not to park there? And then the neighbor will say, well, he parked me and I was late for work and this type of thing. You're better off if you can get your house a property with its own parking. Another one, location. always try to stay a reasonable driving distance to where people live and go to school and where they work. You want, in other words, if you're 500 miles from their job, and I'm being a little bit sarcastic, 500 miles from nowhere, you may have a difficult time selling it. Now, I know that you may be one of them people that say, my uncle's a hermit. He moved to the back hills of Tennessee. You can't even get there from here. Well, great, but that's not where I would start working on houses. Now, people are always looking for a home that they can live in, that they can enjoy, and they can raise their family, right? They also want to be where their jobs are located. If you stay in these areas, you're generally going to be better off. You're going to be all right. You're going to have a lot better shot of making money. See, I've never lost money on a real estate deal. I've had some I broke even and escaped out of, but I've never actually lost money on one, because if you buy them right, you can still make money. Now, again, stay with what people are used to in your area. If you happen to be in an area where the whole area is all condos, you're probably all right. Personally, I don't like condos. I mean, you may love them. I don't like to do wobbly boxes. You may love mobile homes. It's just not my type of thing. Now, but if all the homes in the neighborhood are one-star, here's another warning, but yours is a strange, modern, architectural monstrosity, you may have a tough time selling. I know of a house in our area that it's all boxy. The architect designed it. He was all proud of it. Guess what? All the houses look normal, but his looks weird. Don't try to beat the odds. For instance, I'm going to be a little sarcastic for a second, but if there's a cliff next door that goes down for 5,000 feet and people drop off every once in a while, you probably don't want a house right on the edge of the cliff, right? Now, I'm in Ohio, and our big cliffs are probably 9 feet. But you get the point, right? I know of a house over in Toledo that has a mile-high power tower that the electric company, those great big metal ones, look like the tower over there in Paris, right there, the Eiffel Tower. Guess what? People are always, there's all kinds of rumors. They get cancer from that. That thing sends out radio waves. They have, the government's listening. They have all kinds of crazy things. That house has a constant turnover. I didn't buy it because I already knew that. Now, I had one home in Defiance. I won't name the street because you might know the folks, but our main road come down to a T, and everybody was a stop at the bottom. The problem was it was on a hill down to a T. Well, on snowy, slippery, icy days, guess what? That house would scare people because everybody was afraid, what if they couldn't stop? What if the ice was bad? What if their brakes gave out? And boom, they plowed into the house. One time somebody put up a guardrail. I owned the house, and when I thought I was going to make a $25,000, $30,000 profit, if I recall, when I got out of that house, I made $5,000 on the house. I mean, that's terrible in the real estate game. But again, I see it as making $5,000 is better than a loss, right? So, hey, this is Mike to say, and I just want to give you a few things that you can do to stack the odds in your favor. So this is Mike, Life Hacks in Real Estate, signing off. Have a good day.